7-year-old's still afraid of a ball. Daddy, why don't you, because I coach her team, she goes, Dad, why don't you put me a catcher? I said, because every time I throw the ball, you go.
That is no good.
That's not happening.
All right, let's get this meeting going. Good evening and welcome to the Board of Directors meeting for Sacramento Metropolitan Fire District for May 12th, 2016. We'll start tonight, like we do every meeting, with the Pledge of Allegiance. I'll ask Director Jones to lead us.
All rise. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Director Jones. The open session meeting is videotaped for cablecast on Metro Cable 14. It'll be replayed on Sunday, May 15, 2016 at 2 p.m. and Monday, May 16, 2016 at 12 noon on Channel 14. Webcast, it can be found at www.sacmetrocable.tv. The open session meetings are also available for viewing on the district's website at www.metrofire.ca.gov. And now is the opportunity for public comment. Ms. Clerk, do we have any?
I have no speakers this evening.
We'll move on to consent calendar. At this time, I'll take a motion on the consent unless there's any questions. So moved. Any second?
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Would you call for the vote, please?
Director Mitchell,
Aye.
Gould,
Aye.
Orzali,
Aye.
Barnes,
Aye.
Clark,
Aye.
Kelly,
Aye.
Jones,
Aye.
and Wood.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Thank you. At this time, we're going to go into closed session. We're going to move that up till now, and then we'll come back and address the action items after closed session. So
Very good.
Maybe put together an email, send it to you and Maureen, it's just my food for thought issues when they draft that part out. That's the easiest way to take care of it, is in the MOU. I am. I mean, I would want it to say, to any compensation, initial compensation package, or any modification, change of benefits, compensation, et cetera, of any outside fire chief during the term of his or her contract, or something like that, to spell it out.
yeah. Let's go ahead and get reconvene. Council, would you report out closed session, please?
Yes, Director. The board met in closed session in a conference with its labor negotiator for the bargaining units identified in the closed session agenda. No action was taken. The board met in closed session to discuss personnel matters related to the fire chief selection process. No action was taken. The board met in closed session for a conference with its legal counsel involving pending litigation in the case of AJ versus Sacramento Metropolitan Fire District. No action was taken. The board met in closed session on the issue of workers' compensation, compromise and release and settlement of employee George McKinnon in the Sacramento Metropolitan Fire District. By unanimous vote, the board agreed to give settlement authority to its authorized representative to complete a settlement of that case. Thank you.
Thank you, Council. We'll move on to action items. Chief, you are listed for all four of them, so let's start with number one.
Well, thank you, directors. Tonight, as all the action items are are connected essentially to a common negotiation. On May 11th, 2016, the members of the Sacramento Area Firefighters Local 522 ratified the tentative agreement that was reached with the district, and we had signed that on the 28th of April, 2016. So tonight, the Board of Directors will vote to approve the resolutions containing the terms of the tentative agreement. This agreement will cost the district $15 million over the next 3 years. The components with economic impact to the district are as follows. Salary increase of 11% over the next 3 years for all represented members. Restoration of retirement cost sharing. Employees hired before January 2013 will make full member contributions to PERS, which is 9% for safety and 8% for non-safety, plus an additional 3% cost share for safety employees. Longevity pay adjustments, an additional 2% step at the year 17 and 1% increases at the years 20 and 25 respectively. Reduction of overtime based on sick leave usage during an FLSA period, and full sick leave and education incentives at the completion of the 3rd year of employment, which were previously at the 5th year. It is important to note that the firefighters have not received raises since 2008, including a scheduled 4% pay raise in 2009 that was deferred, and contract reopeners in 2014 and 2015 that were not exercised due to the lack of revenue. As the largest and the only all-risk fire agency in the region, it is imperative that we have quality and qualified staff responding to emergencies. We believe these employees should be fairly compensated so they stay with our organization, and this contract will, in this contract, while being fiscally responsible, and it achieves all those goals. So tonight, I'd like to take each one of these resolutions, starting with resolution number 1 for approval of this body. Adopting the tentative agreement for all respective memorandums of understanding by and between the Sacramento Metropolitan Fire District and the Sacramento Area Firefighters Local 522 IAFF FLCIO. So my recommendation to the board would be to approve.
Do we have any questions for the chief?
Mr. Chair, I make a motion we adopt.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second. Madam Clerk, would you call the roll, please?
Director Mitchell,
Aye.
Gould,
Aye.
Orzali,
Aye.
Barnes,
Aye.
Clark,
Aye.
Kelly,
Aye.
Jones,
Aye.
and Wood.
Aye.
Motion passes.
So resolution number, or action item number 2 is a resolution adopting the terms of agreement for resolution number 08-07 and resolution number 07-07 affecting safety and non-safety senior management, and unrepresented confidential employees. So our recommendation would be to adopt.
Mr. Chair, I make a motion we adopt as mentioned.
We got a motion and a second. Madam Clerk, would you call the roll, please?
Director Mitchell,
Aye.
Gould,
Aye.
Orzali,
Aye.
Barnes,
Aye.
Clark,
Aye.
Kelly,
Aye.
Jones, and Wood.
Aye.
Motion passes.
So resolution, or action item number 3 is a resolution for the employer-paid member contributions, EPMC, of safety employees with the California Public Employees Retirement System. So our recommendation is to adopt the changes therein.
Do we have any questions for the chief on item 3?
Mr. Chair, I make a motion that we adopt the resolution.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Madam Clerk, would you call the roll, please?
Director Mitchell,
Aye.
Gould,
Aye.
Orzali,
Aye.
Barnes,
Aye.
Clark,
Aye.
Kelly,
Aye.
Jones,
Aye.
and Wood.
Aye.
Motion passes.
So our last action item, number 4, is resolution employer-paid member contributions, EPMC, for miscellaneous employees. Recommendation is adopt this resolution for the California Public Employees Retirement System for the miscellaneous employees.
Ask the question if there's any.
Do we have any questions for the chief?
Mr. Chair, I make a motion that we adopt this resolution as well.
I second.
We have a motion and a second. Madam Clerk, would you call the roll, please?
Director Mitchell,
Aye.
Gould.
Aye.
Orzali.
Aye.
Barnes.
Aye.
Clark. Kelly.
Aye.
Jones.
Aye.
And Wood.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Outstanding. Well done, Chief. Appreciate all your help and the work that you guys have done over the last 12-plus months on this.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate the support, and I appreciate the partnership with Local 522 moving into the future. Thank you.
We'll move on into reports. President's report. I trust our president is having a good time in Iceland. Fire Chief Wells, yours is next.
Yes, back to me. Fire Chief's report. I'll keep it a little bit brief tonight. So we had a good opportunity with all the budget officers on the 9th earlier this week. All budget officers and Local 522 representatives looking forward on the preliminary budget for 2016 and 17. I attended and spoke at a media event at Cal OES on the 10th. We actually ended up getting another, swapped out one of our Type 1 OES response vehicles, light urban search and rescue, the ones that we use also in the wildland. So we have 2 Type 1s and we have 1 Type 3. The Type 3 we got last year, and this year they swapped out one of our Type 1s. So we currently have 3 state of California resources that we take out. Just as a sidebar on that, last year we went out to 13 different counties on 11 different deployments. We had 63 people out on those 3 vehicles for a period of 100 days. So we're actually very happy to be in partnership with the state of California, very robust master mutual aid system. And the benefit to the agency and the people out there watching would be, we go out and help up and down the state of California. It's not uncommon to be in literally every single county up and down the state. But this robust system also serves us here at home. If one of our incidences or catastrophes came to a head that we couldn't handle, we get the reciprocity of that same massive movement of resources. So it's a great system, and I think we take it for granted in the state because the other states out there don't have nearly what we have in that regard. So it's something to be cherished. Upcoming meetings and events. I will be leaving Saturday to the International or IAFC Metro Fire Chiefs Summit down in Long Beach. It's the 100 largest fire departments come together, talk about issues that affect large municipalities. Be excited to attend that. There's the California Special Districts Association Legislative Days on the 17th and the 18th of May. Rusty Dupre and Chief Casantini will be attending that event. On the 23rd, I'm attending a Cal Chiefs Fire Chiefs Summit in Indian Wells. It's an EMS-based, what all the issues are downrange affecting us in the EMS realm. So I'm going to be attending that. The annual board workshop will be in this boardroom at 1 p.m. on the 26th of, at 4 p.m., 4 p.m. on the 26th of May, the annual board workshop right here in this room. Retirements, Scott McKinney retired on the 30th of April with 30 years of service. That was 30 years of service here with Metro, but I believe he had somewhere around 42 years of service somewhere. He was 200 years old. But I would tell you that Scotty McKinney, I saw him the morning that he was leaving shift, and he worked at probably the busiest fire station that we have, and did it every day of the week and provided a huge level of service, and this agency will miss him, I guarantee it. Also, Captain Steve Eggerman, retired, 27 years of service. We talked about him last time as well. Strong truck captain out there and will be missed. And on the 1st of May, Engineer Dale Heitzman, 26 years of service. And Dale was very involved also in our deferred comp and a lot of different economic issues regarding the district, so he will be missed. So to fill those shoes, we have promotions. We have, effective on the 1st of May, we have engineers Andrew Ziegler, Mario Martinez, Josh Larson, Jonathan Squaglia, Jaden Fitz, Julian Sahidek, Jonathan Hull, Shannon Chamberlain, Mark Gusinov, Aaron Volley, and Jason Murphy. It's Thomas, but we all call him Jason Murphy. So glad to see him as an engineer. We have a safety specialist, Robert Sestito, that'll be taking effect on the 23rd of May. He's been a logistics tech for us, and he's going to be in the safety specialist role now. And also, we are recruiting for firefighter paramedic eligibility list. 8 single-role paramedics were successful in this process, and the recruitment process for the next fire academy is scheduled for August of 2016. So it's good to see our single-role guys and gals stepping up into that next rank. So again, and just to close it out, I would like to say thank you. I've had ongoing negotiations. We've been scheduled on every single meeting. We've talked about negotiations. So tonight, at the culmination is thank you, Local 522. Thank you for being here in the audience. Thank you for the support of this board and for the men and women of Metro Fire. And I'm looking forward to moving forward. So thank you.
Any questions for the chief on his report?
If I may. So the board workshop will begin at 4 p.m.?
Correct.
Yes.
Chief Bridge.
Good evening, Directors. Eric Bridge, Operations Chief. I'll be brief with the report as well. Basically, our stats have been showing we run anywhere from 7,000 to 8,000 call types every month. And we're staying consistent with since our last board meeting a few weeks ago. We've totaled about 3,700 calls, of which 2,700 of those were EMS calls, and we transported 74% of the time. Our friends and partners at AMR were dispatched 170 times with 112 transports. And since April 28th, that last board meeting, we've also had 11 structure fires. So with that, unless you have any questions about the calls, that's all I have for you.
Any questions for the chief? Thank you, Chief Bridge. We'll move on to General Counsel's report. Counsel Lava.
Yes, no report.
Local 522.
Good evening, Ty Bailey, Local 522 Vice President. I stand before you this evening. It's been a long process, Chief, but it's been a good process. And ultimately, we did bring that TA to the membership and it passed. And I do appreciate the fact that you as a board this evening took the time with the chief and his staff and respectfully voted for that contract to get us down the road the next 30 months. So I really do appreciate that. Thank you.
Brian Rice, President, Local 522, to the Board of Directors and President Scheidegger, who is not here, right? And Acting President Ted Wood. Chief Wells and Chief Holbrook and your staff, of which there are many. I echo what Chief Wells said. Having done this for a long time, this certainly was the most complicated and twisty set of negotiations, but I feel very comfortable in saying that it's fair and equitable for all, and really for all starts with the community and then the organization and the men and women. So I want to thank you for your diligence. I know it was hard on our end, so I know it was equally hard on your end. And Chief Wells, I just want to say thank you. I think the next time that I stand up here will probably be on a joint labor management issue that we've been working on for quite some time, and the regional fire chiefs have been instrumental in helping us all develop a joint labor management behavioral health system that I don't want to say it's been a long time coming, but it's going to be good, and it's going to be good for not only the men and women that work here in safety or represented by the local, but everybody that works here, and then every department represented in this region. I don't want to get too far out ahead of it, but
Behavioral health.
there's a lot of other stuff going on, and this one here is going to be a big deal. And the partnership with the fire chiefs has been huge. So again, for the contract, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Brian. Any questions for the representatives from 522, Brian or Ty? No? Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
We'll move on to committee and delegate reports. The executive committee doesn't have a meeting scheduled. It will be noticed when there is one. Communication Center JPA, Chief Bridge.
Yes, the Comm Center GP board members, we met here last Thursday, on May 2nd. No action was taken. Our next board meeting will be May 31st at 9 a.m. right?
Thank you. California Fire and Rescue Training JPA, Director Kelly.
Yes, the JPA has not met since I last reported out. We will meet on June 16th here at the SESC.
Thank you. Finance and Audit Committee, our next meeting will be on Wednesday, May 25th at 5 o'clock. That's a special day. Special in that it's not our normal meeting. I don't think there's any other thing special about it, but there will be a special meeting on Wednesday, May 25th, 5 o'clock in this room. Director Gold, the Policy Committee.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. The Policy Committee met this evening. It had a robust debate and conversation, and it was attended by all and fun times. And we have a couple of policies related to sick leaves and catastrophic sick leave banks. And there was some conversation, and policies will be adjusted as appropriate.
Thank you. Thank you. Last time I sat in this role, I neglected to give my fellow board members our opportunity to comment. In the minutes, the following, when the minutes came out, they said that I denied the board members the opportunity to comment. So I don't want to be labeled as such again. So we'll start with Director Mitchell, please.
I'd like to pass along my congratulations to the retirees. We lose hundreds of years of experience when these people leave, but they are replaced with some fine replacements in the promotions, so we wish them well. I would like to thank the union as well as this district as a whole. I'm the new one sitting on this board, but I've been here long enough to know that the district as a whole, the administration, and Local 522 have worked very diligently to work out this new contract. And so from the bottom of my heart, as a retired individual as well as a director, I would like to thank the chief and his staff, this district, and 522. I look out and listen to Brian Rice when he spoke, and Brian, you're more than the president, you're a good friend. And so it took a lot of hard work, and we thank you.
Thank you, Director Mitchell. Director Gold.
I just want to echo my colleagues' comments on the fact that we're now moving into a new era. We can get beyond this contract, which is a good thing, and it's a fair and equitable, as the president mentioned, and it's time for us to look at other issues that this board and this organization need to look at. We've got a lot of great issues that we've got to resolve and grow on, and so I'm really, really excited tonight to have this behind us, and we can get moving on to other issues. Thank you for all of those that were involved.
Thank you, Director. Director Rosali?
I just want to reiterate that thanks to the chief for all of the work that went into this, and to the folks at 522 for the labor that went into it. This is a long, laborious process that's finally come to an end, and all of us recognize the amount of effort that went into it, so thank you. The second item, I have been working this week with families whose homes were destroyed in the Butte fire. And I mention this because those homes were literally destroyed. There's nothing left. And this is a suggestion to people to look around in their homes and think about the things that you have, because many of their records were destroyed. So trying to piece together what was there to help with them with their insurance claims. Many of those records were in great detail, but were also destroyed in the fire. So, suggestion to people, you take a photographic history of what's in your home. Any documents you have, receipts, any of that, be kept in at least two places, one of which is not in your home, because I see this as a tragic loss that might have been averted with a little bit of more forethought. So, last item. With regard to Director Scheidegger's being in Iceland, I vote yes.
Thank you, Director Orzali. Director Jones.
Congratulations to the fire chief and to labor for, and also everyone involved, including us, for coming to resolution and moving forward on our 3-year contract. Other than that, I reiterate and concur with the comments of my fellow directors.
Thank you, Director. Director Kelly?
Yes, I too would like to extend my appreciation to the chief, Mr. Holbrook, or Chief Holbrook, everybody that worked on the negotiating committee for the local union and the district. it's time to move forward.
Thank you, Director. Director Clark.
Yes, I also would like to thank Local 522 for their hard work and our administration. I've been through quite a few negotiations myself, and it was pretty grueling, and it's always nice to get it over and move forward. So I too appreciate your effort and also concur with my fellow directors. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Director. Director Barnes?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. It's coming second to last, echoing everybody's thoughts on the contract. If people have never been part of negotiations, as it's already said, it is a grueling task. I hope members of 522 of this district, the citizens that we serve, understand the countless hours that went in behind the scenes on both sides of the negotiating team. So I applaud the efforts, the commitment, the passion that goes behind it, because we do care about the service that we provide, also taking care of the personnel that provides that service, because in a long term, it does take its toll on them. So we do appreciate it. For 8 years, they haven't gotten a raise. They've given that up for this district and those sacrifices. So what is on the table, what is approved today was absolutely necessary to show them that we support them. We appreciate the efforts, but it's also responsible for the district that we can survive this, and this is the way it should be. So thank you to everybody that was involved in this. Countless hours, I can only imagine. So kudos to everybody.
Thank you, Director. I could not put it any better, so I'll only say our next meeting will be May 26th, the special board meeting workshop at 4 o'clock. And we look forward to seeing you all there. Thank you.
I kept an attorney quiet?
I couldn't say it any better. There was nothing, that was awesome. Yeah, thank you. Kept me shut.